Today's lesson is going to be about solving problems using functions and relations, okay? So what exactly does that look like, or what does that mean? It says, what if we were given a question like this? If you were asked to find f of 2, replace x with 2. So first, just to go over how you really say this, you say that as f of 2. And basically what we're doing is replacing or substituting x with 2. So wherever we have our function, instead of x, we're going to replace it with 2. So here's our function right here. And each time we're going to substitute this value for x. Substitute for x and substitute for x. So what does that look like? We'll have f of 2 equals 3 times 2 plus 2, and then we just perform our order operations. Multiply first, that's 6, and then we add, that makes 8. So f of 2 is equal to 8. Now we can do the next one. This is f of 4, and we use the same function, equals 3 times 4 plus 2, right? Multiply first, that's 12. 12 plus 2 makes 14. So f of 4 equals 14. All right. Now, it says a study tip. F of x is the same thing as y. It's just a different way of writing it. So when they say solve for x equals 3, once again, we're just going to plug in the 3 for x. So f of 3 equals 4 times 3 minus 1. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 1 is 11. So f of 3 equals 11. And we could also write this as an ordered pair. We could write it as 3, 11. Okay. Now, if we're doing this one, we just simply replace x with 3. So y equals 4 times 3 minus 1. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 1 is 11. So y equals 11 when x equals 3, and we would still write our point the same way, 3, 11, or our ordered pair. All right. A phone company charges $40 a month and $1.50 for each application you purchase. Your monthly charge could be calculated by f of s equals 1 5/10 s plus 40, where s is the number of applications. If you buy 4 applications, what will your monthly charge be? So let's highlight some key things. They gave us our function, and they also told us that s represents the number of applications. And right here it says if you buy 4 applications. So if we buy 4 applications, that's basically saying f of 4, or that's another way of saying x equals 4, s equals 4. So if I want to figure out how much the monthly charge would be, I'm going to have to substitute 4 for s. So f of 4 equals 1 5/10 times 4 plus 40. When we multiply, if you don't know that off the top of your head, you just come over here and multiply it regularly. 15 times 4, that's 20. Carry the 2. 4 and 1 make 4, plus 2 makes 6. And there is one number after the decimal, so that should be 6.0. So we got 6.0 plus 40, and 6.0 is just 6, which when we add those, that makes 46. So if you buy 4 applications, what will your monthly charge be? $46. Okay, and we want to always put our answer in the context of our word problem. Also, we could look at it as f of 4 equals 46. We could write this point 4 and 4 comma 46 would be the ordered pair, but our final answer is $46. Let's take a look at this next problem. Now, it says Amazing Music Downloads charges $3.24 to sign up and 99 cents for each song downloaded. The charge for downloaded songs is found by D of S equals 3 and 2400ths plus 9900ths times S, where S is the number of songs downloaded. And right here, they're telling us, hey, if you downloaded 18 songs, so that's basically saying that S is equal to 18, or we could say D of 18. And if you downloaded 18 songs, what will it cost you at Amazing Music Downloads? Well, simply put, we're gonna go ahead and substitute. So D, I keep getting the right F. D of 18 equals 3 and 2400ths plus 0 and 9900ths times 18. Okay. And when we do that, we're gonna get 3 and 24. So as I was saying, we would use a calculator to multiply. You can multiply this out by hand, but when you do that, you're gonna get 1782. And now we just add. So 1782 plus $3.24. It's gonna be 6, 10, carry the 1, that's 10, that's 11, carry the 1, that's 2. So our final answer is 21 and 600ths. So D of 18 is equal to 21.06. So our total cost would be $21.06. Now, this next one says here, function notation. If you're asked to write a function, the order of the variables is how you write the notation. For example, it says write W as a function of P as W of P. Okay? So, the following chart represents the average happiness Krispy Kreme feels when he eats donuts from his favorite donut shop, Don Donuts. So, we have our table here, and we can label, and this is going to be obviously D, and this is H, okay? And it says, write which equation represents H, Chris's happiness, as a function of D, the number of donuts. Well, if we go back up here, we're going to write, for the example, it says W as a function of H, where we're writing, of P, W as a function of P. Down here, we're writing H as a function of D. So this, we know it has to be H of D. Now, with just that alone, we know we can get rid of this expression, that equation and that equation, because it's not written correctly. Now, we just need to go ahead and figure out which equation it is. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to figure out how much it's increasing by each time in the D category, which is plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, and plus 10. And in the happiness category, we're going to do the same thing to see what it's increasing by or decreasing by. Over here, it's positive. Each time it's increasing by 21. And now to figure out that function, we're going to do H over D. Okay, H over D, which is going to look like the increase, the change in H over the change in D. Now, the change in H was a positive 21, and the change in D was a positive 10. And a positive divided by a positive is a positive. When we divide these two things, we're going to end up with 2.1. So our final equation is H of D is equal to 2 and 1/10 times D. Okay? And this would be our final answer here.